Hello, my friends. I just have some thoughts about this final experiment. It gets more and more bizarre by the hour. A lot of things are coming out, about these two individuals, Austin with Sid, Jaren, and also about Duffy. Now, this image is not mine. I credit to this lady. She's been putting out tiny videos, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, some longer, with lots of information about Austin Whitsitt and this whole TFE thing. But I want to get started with this video here by Winter Patriot 45. He was watching Whitsitt's high definition footage from so-called Antarctica, and he was able to zoom in on the images since they were high resolution. He found several things that don't really make sense. So I'm gonna play his video and stop and comment on some of the discrepancies that he found. Let's go ahead and watch it.
All right, so I'm looking at the screen here, and what do I see? So the cool thing about this is you can zoom in on the screen. Can you see it? So running right up here, a right angle all the way across, and it looks like things converge into this corner. And if you look at down here, right, this line runs all the way up from almost this camera. Okay, so let's zoom in on it again. Let's zoom in. I mean, when you zoom in, I mean, the corner is completely obvious.
So let me stop right there. Do you guys see the two lines, the black lines? I'm gonna highlight them in red for you, so in case you don't see it. It's right there. Two lines as if it's like in a stage. See there, the black? I'm gonna highlight again so you make sure, because he's gonna move around, show more evidences, but you can see right there the square, which makes me think that I might have been right where they filmed that. I initially thought they had filmed the whole thing at Micode Studios, NASA Studios, somewhere in the southeast of the US. So see how huge this thing is? And you're gonna see when they remove those rocks, another green screen right there. So it could have filmed this whole TFE at that location. See there, another green screen? So kind of fits with the background. Once they have the green screen and they film whatever they have to film, you cannot see any difference. Look at these scenes. Those scenes are the ones they were filming at Micode Studios and NASA. So looking back at that, we're gonna go back to the footage and he's gonna finish exposing more and showing more inconsistencies. Now the funny thing is that he was taping, watching and taping, showing the difference, and he placed a comment on Austin's original upload. So guess what they did? They went to the original and they they blurred those black lines. Now you can't see it anymore. So what they have been doing, every time we point out some mistakes, they go there and fix and hide it. So definitely this has been a movie. You see there, it looks a lot like the lines at the very corner of it. So let's go back and watch a little bit more.
There it is. The corner in the screen runs all the way out. And again, this is at, like, I noticed it like 51 minutes in to the video, and now at 52 minutes and 6 seconds, it's just obvious that there is a right angle and a blue line that cuts all the way up and across. Okay, and I'll just bring it down so it's better in screen on my camera here. And it runs all the way across. All the way across. All the way across. And they must have blended it better down the other side there, but you can see it ends up right there. See it? Blue line running all the way across the screen. I don't know. I wonder how they're going to you know, how Dave Weiss is going to explain this one away. It comes all the way down here. See it going all the way down here. That to me looks like the seam of a gigantic LED screen. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so I can come here. I can zoom in one of two ways. I can zoom in on their camera, or I can zoom in on my camera. Unfortunately, I got a little reflection there. I'm going to try to get rid of reflections for you. That's the other one. Undeniable. See it? So all the way down, even into here, all the way down. It's completely nuts. And it makes that camera look like it's not, you know, it's part of the screen. I don't know how far out the screen would be on the bottom. I have yet to see the image there, but seek and ye shall find. There it is, running all the way across the sky on a right angle from here to here. I don't know how you explain that away with, you know, the 360 camera or whatever it is they'll use to try to say that this sky isn't just converging locally here, and it's obviously being projected as the horizon. This could be the fourth wall, right, that they had to cover up from their 360. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to try and get this out as quickly as possible. Again, right up here, cutting across, there's this line in the sky. And fortunately, you can zoom in on this footage from this 360 camera. That was obviously 360 of some kind of a screen that's projected for it. Come all the way across to a right angle. Cuts all the way down to the ground. There it is. See it? Right over here, right where my mouse is. I can just pull it, pull it right down. And you could see it. It's like a mirror projection across from one to the other. I mean, it's so obvious now that I've zoomed in on it. It's just crazy. So here we go. I haven't done, like, this is the first thing I found that was really anomalous for me. So, and I haven't, you know, people can claim whatever they want about the other shadows and all this stuff. Nothing explains this to me better than they're using some kind of 3D screens. Like, how else do you define that there's this right angle in the sky there, other than it's just another part of the LED wall? And they thought they would have edited all this stuff out, I guess. I don't know. But here it is. Seek and you shall find. I mean, I pray on this stuff. Like, oh my God, if this is fake, please let me find it. And I found something really fake. So, looks fake because it blends right here at this line. And when I'm looking on a 4K screen, I'm videoing on my phone. But when I look at it and I blow it up on my Mac, it's just so obvious. There it is, the blending of the footage. Comes all the way up into the sky, all the way up. Makes a right angle and cuts back to the left. So there you have it. I don't know. I don't know why they'd have to fake it, but it definitely looks like it to me.
Well, I hope you were able to actually see. That's why I have highlighted in red lines the corner, the top line, and the side ones coming from top, from the ceiling down. I don't think you would see those lines in Antarctica. My position from the beginning is that they filmed the 24-hour sun in studio. Then they traveled to Antarctica, and while they were in Antarctica, they released the footage from studio, claiming to be real footage in Antarctica. So let's move on. This lady has uploaded a couple videos that I find it really interesting. So you guys probably remember that I've been telling you about this figure in Brazil. It was the face of Flat Earth. He tried to scam his followers $50,000 to go to Antarctica in 2024, but the whole thing started in 2023. And when he was exposed as being a shill, he just used one of his old trips to the North Pole and went to the press and declared himself no longer a flat earther. But even his wife, who happens to be a biblical flat earther, didn't know what he was up to. She eventually divorced him, took him to court, granted the house, the kids, everything. And the guy is now missing. It's nowhere to be found. He disappeared. Perhaps the deep state found him not useful anymore and got rid of him. So let's listen to this video about Austin.
So I never did get to finish my list the other day talking to Witsit of all of his grifting things, and I'm sure I'm even leaving some out, but I just wanted to focus this one on his life coaching, life reset program that he started a little over a year ago, around the same time that he was grifting the supplement stuff with that dragon guy. And ironically, he was brought to him by Jaren. Apparently that's how they met, was through Jaren, so that makes him suspect already. But what I think is interesting is that he would advertise it as, oh, come on guys, it's only $3 a day or $11 a day or $33 a day. And that's in his own words, as you can see here in his on his live stream text or whatever. So yeah, he chose those numbers. I don't know, I guess he's trying to maybe he's making jokes, whatever. But the irony of all this, that, shout out to Yasuke for bringing this to my attention, but apparently he was arrested right before he started pushing all this life reset stuff. He was arrested for battery, for spitting on his wife. In the notes, it says that she grabbed his wrists and he spit on her. There was an order of no contact filed by her on him. And, her being a therapist and him being, life coaching, trying to do relationship advice on people was pretty ridiculous. I think, people should know what they're getting into. If this is the type of businesses they're trying to run, maybe they should try practicing what they preach. I don't know. But I think it's interesting that Jaren's about to delete all of his videos, he said. So it's exactly what happened 7 years ago. The FE Corps, Bob's stuff was coming out about him not being a pilot or an engineer, and they decided to delete all of the evidence. And, a new group of FEers were coming in, so they had to try and hide the evidence of their past grifting experiments that didn't happen and fundraisers that didn't happen. And there was quite a few, and Flat Earth Reset has a bunch of old videos if anybody wants to go back and look at those. But yeah, I'd say just keep your eyes open and your wallets closed. Toodles.
I cannot imagine of a man spitting on his wife. I have lived in 3 different continents, 3 different cultures: South America, Brazil, North America, USA, and now Asia and Japan. I've never heard before of an episode of a man spitting on his wife. So I searched it online a bit and I found this entry. I'm going to take this out of the Old Testament. Being spit upon was the lowest form of a curse. If somebody knows the worst curse on me, they can be thrown on you humanly. Out the door you should go, because that's what happened in the Old Testament. If somebody spit on you, it meant go away. I never want to see you again. That's exactly how I would treat it. If it's an accident, you wash it off, but if somebody curses you by spitting in your face, away from that person, I would go and I would not be returning. Let's hear what this entry says, and then I will play the following comments.
When someone spits in another person's face during an argument, it typically signifies a high level of anger, disrespect, or contempt. This action is often considered a severe form of humiliation and aggression. It can indicate that the person feels overwhelmed by emotions and resorts to a violent or degrading act instead of engaging in constructive communication. Spitting can also be a way to assert dominance or power over the other person, reflecting deep-seated issues in the relationship. It's important to recognize that such behavior is abusive and unhealthy. If this happens, it may be a sign of a toxic relationship dynamic, and seeking help or counseling might be necessary for both individuals involved.
My ex spitted on my face. I still have a vivid memory of that very moment. It was humiliating. I tried to fix things, but it only got worse. A guy is supposed to be a gentleman, shouldn't spit on the girl's face. It can mean that something is severely broken in the relationship, and he/she is disgusted, or at least infuriated, because of it. I can say from my personal experience that it should be ended as soon as possible, else it would take different forms. So, in my opinion, it means that this incident is a cue to walk away.
It means that the guy has no respect for his girlfriend whatsoever. Probably also he lacks respect for women in general. Perhaps he lacks respect for people altogether. Also, it means he lacks the skills to control himself properly. I would not be surprised if this is something that slowly would spiral into much worse domestic abuse than just spitting. It means that the girlfriend needs to dump this guy.
It means you're dating a childish loser who wasn't taught basic decency or respect. I suggest get out while you can.
It means you need to leave him now. It will only escalate to worse abuse, possibly ending in your death.
It has become clear that the people involved in this fake experiment has some weird, dark agenda behind. Let's listen a little bit more of Austin contradicting himself.
Here's a clip of what's it from about a little over a year ago. One of my first times, I think, talking to him. Sounds very different than lately what he's been saying, along with Kai, about trying to defend being on InfoWars and all these big channels, and it's very telling. And there's tons of examples out there if you've been listening and paying attention. But yeah, I just found this clip and thought it was funny to put it back to back with the other more recent clips. So enjoy.
Want you listening to Alex Jones. But if you are not buying the mainstream propaganda, they have Alex Jones to catch you, right? And then to make you be an extremist, to sprinkle in misinformation and give you 95% truth, to make you be fearful. If you listen to him, he's always pushing fear porn, right? I know someone that was a producer at that show said that she woke up to Flat Earth watching my debates, and that literally they had a group meeting and he told them that no one else is allowed to talk about Flat Earth or they'll be fired. So he is controlled op as far as I can tell. I'm a Masonic actor. I'm a shield because I was on InfoWars. You're not allowed on there without it. So that's how we know it's all I'm guaranteed an actor because anyone that's ever been on InfoWars is an actor, is fake.
The only way you could be on Alex Jones or Timcast is through selling out. And you see what that does as well, it creates a protection mechanism for the anti-truther to say that people only reach a certain level of status, they only get on the news, they only become famous only if they're a sellout.
If
Therefore,
you think that
if they aren't experiencing those things, it's only because they're not a sellout. You see how that's detrimental thinking.
What's detrimental is thinking that being successful means that you get on one of these shilly ass shows that's been known to lie through their teeth and incite fear into people when it's unnecessary and sell them horrible products that's actually poison, which is something that your husband actually did. So I don't know what to tell you. If you just want to keep your eyes closed, that's fine with me, but I'm not going to just, let some, emotional, feelings come over me because I talked to somebody online a couple times and be like, oh, he would never lie. He would never do any of this. No, the healthy thing to do is to be skeptical of anybody who's on any of those shows, because you don't just get on those shows. We're sick of the bullshitters. We're sick of the people pushing products on us and making everything into a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, but to receive truth, you have to have your walls down, though.
Yeah, and your wallet open.
To receive, you have to have your walls down.
And your wallet open.
So guys, I don't know what you guys make it of all of this. What I make out of all of this is that these guys, Austin, Jaron, Duffy, with Dave DeWise, they are all one group together, controlling Flat Earth, milking it, and destroying Flat Earth from within. all these guys are really destroying Flat Earth. They're just taking advantage. And just look at what Jaron says after 9 years living off subscriptions from Flat Earthers, money from Flat Earthers. Look at what he has to say.
If you are a Flat Earther, or in the Flat Earth, or following Flat Earthers, I'm just telling you, I've been in this for 10 years. It's going nowhere. Again, if you want to remain here for 10 years and get nowhere, you're in the right spot. Just be a Flat Earther. You will get nowhere. You will accomplish nothing. You'll lose more friends. You'll lose more family. The stupidity of Flat Earthers is astounding. Nobody believes anything. You don't have to believe anything when you're a Flat Earther. You don't have to believe anything because you don't have a model. You don't have a map. You just kind of just go through it. And if something comes up that doesn't match our worldview, we just kind of say it was fake and move on to the next thing and say, water lies flat. I cannot associate myself with these people or consider them smart ever again. I don't want to be called a Flat Earther. I don't want to be associated with people who can't see reality in front of them. Every single person that I used to think was a good researcher, from Level Earth Observer to Plain Truth, to Don't Sphere the Truth, to Eric Dubay, to you name it, they all turned out to be trash.
All this is said after lived off money from Flat Earthers who supported him. He moved into a new house in Austin. We all helped him when he had a baby. $10,000 was raised to him and his wife. All for nothing. They are destroying Flat Earth. They are shills. They've been shills for a long time. They are 100% behind the fakery of the final experiment. Life moves on. I'm going to keep on doing my videos, Flat Earth videos. The biblical Flat Earth, that's what matters. And these guys are done. Take care. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.